And is the slide visible? No.
Yes, sir.
Now it is visible. Okay. So good afternoon, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the second day of 5 days FDP on exhaustive learning on AI and ML. Yesterday we begin with very basics. We started with what is an intelligence, and then we went towards defining artificial intelligence. We have seen that how these 10 scientists came together in 50s, and this AI, artificial intelligence word or term was coined by John McGrath. Then we talked about tuning test, Alan Turing, who gave this test that time to see whether human machine behaves intelligently or not. And in not directly but indirectly, we are still using it in the form of CAPTCHA everywhere. Wherever you log in, wherever you check the results, whenever you go to into bank account, you'll find some or other way CAPTCHA is always there. So it is nothing but to check whether you are a human being or a machine. Okay, the Turing test is always with us. Then we started with intelligent agents. I gave you example about your mobile device, automatic typing or email filtering, okay, auto reply. These all are intelligent activity which you have seen yesterday. Then we have discussed about how AI problems are different than conventional problem. You cannot call sorting or searching an AI problem. No, not at all. There are specific problems for which we require artificial intelligence technology to be used or algorithms to be used. Not every problem is AI problem. Then we turn towards natural language processing. We saw that how the website which is designed for Maharashtrian people, if it is opened in any other, we require all 5 stages of natural language processing to be used in that case. And we have seen 2 different terminologies called as internationalization and localization, which is called as machine translation. And in last 10-15 minutes, we have seen how currently doctors, medical people, scientists, pharmaceutical organizations are using artificial intelligence, deep learning and machine learning technology for fighting with COVID. That was my last 10-15 minutes. Okay. Today, what we are going to see is knowledge representation. Very important topic as far as AI is concerned. Why? Because still we are far away to see how actually knowledge is stored in our brain. If I ask you about data, you will say, sir, my data is stored in a flat file. My data is stored in DBMS. My data is stored in Excel file. These are primitive, verifiable facts of some representation. It may be a character, number, float, blob, a large object, image, everything. And from that data, we get information. We interpret, we process. When we process the data, we get information. Then what about knowledge? If I ask you how the data is stored, you will definitely say, sir, my data is in SQL, it is in third normal form. But that is a database. But what about information? When you put a SQL query and you get what is an information. But what about knowledge? How a knowledge is stored? This is a bigger problem. And still I can say this is my personal opinion. Still AI is to be on the highest peak, maybe because of we are still not aware about how the knowledge is stored in our brain. Okay, it is a relation amongst the set of data, that is information used for further deduction. Okay, knowledge is very general, and knowledge contains information about the behavior, abstract models of the world. Okay, so we need to get knowledge from this information and data, and once we have a knowledge, we come up with a wisdom. Now, what is to represent? When I say knowledge representation, how it is to be represented? You have been working on data structure, you have been working on class, structure, then files, I can say arrays, but do not compare yourself, those studies, with knowledge representation. This is something different. Okay, so think about knowledge rather than data in AI. Don't talk about data, just you talk about knowledge when you when you think about AI. So you should have knowledge in front of you, different facets about it, various procedures to get knowledge and deduce some meaningful information from that. Okay, this is very important. For last so many years, people are coming up with very different way of representing knowledge. Okay, okay, a representation for problem solving technique. Okay, for certain problem solving technique, the best representation is already there with us. But it is, suppose I give you a new problem, you will not be able to represent it properly. I just say that let us start writing a program for chess. It's a two-player game. Okay, either machine plays with machine, a computer plays with machine, or a human being plays with a human being. It's a two-player game. Okay, so how do you represent the board? In what form? It's a knowledge representation, because everywhere when you even move a simple pawn from one place to other, and that move, what is going to happen? Okay, so you need to have that representation for solving certain type of problem. So normally first order predicate logic is used, which has come from predicate calculus. It's a mathematical term. Inductive logic programming, what we are going to see today is a simple prolog logic program. The first time this neural network came into picture, and they thought, yes, how our brain or how our synapse work, how our neuron works in a brain. In the similar fashion, this neural network was what I say innovated, and people are still using neural network extensively. From neural network, we came to what I say deep learning, just because of we could model how our brain works, or how we are getting the information processed from one part of our body to the brain. Okay, but there will always be a problem when you have a new project in your hand. Now, what type of knowledge to be represented? It could be object. Okay, assume that you have an assembly line, electrical vehicle what I say assembling is going on. You can call tire 1, tire 2, or front tire, back tire, FT or BT. हो गया, दो ऑब्जेक्ट का रिप्रेजेंटेशन हो गया. Okay, if there are nuts, I can say nut 1, nut 2, nut 3, nut 4. So for such type of thing, I can use propositional logic. And you can use truth table to calculate or do something. Okay, but that is not enough. That is not enough. So you need to represent knowledge in the form of objects, the description, the classification. You need to represent the events. Look at the event on the right hand side. The train is getting passed, the man is getting moved, he is crossing the railway route. Okay, there are two cars on the street. Something on the right hand side, whatever images are there, you can see there are 9 Surya current planes are moving in a sky, giving 3 colors of this beautiful what I say flag of India. So it isn't event, it is some sequence. You also need to represent relationship between this object. Is there any relationship between the first plane and the second plane? Their distance, their height between these two. Because tomorrow, currently you know that ATS, that is the traffic surveillance, for air traffic surveillance is there, but there is no traffic surveillance for drones. But one fine day, maybe 5 years down the lines, 50, 100 drones will be flying above your building for dropping the food material or giving your postcards or by supplying your food items or maybe any parcel they want to see. You will find many things. Okay, so in this case, you will have to maintain the relationship between those objects. And definitely you also need to represent the knowledge. So you have many things to represent. Again, I repeat, knowledge representation should not be confused with our data or database. Okay, what is the goal of this knowledge representation? It is to develop some formalism, some set of rules for providing high-level descriptions of the world that can be effectively used to build intelligent applications. Okay, this is given by some researcher. So formalism, we need to give some formalism. What is this formalism? It is some formal syntax. Suppose you don't have a syntax to access the text or an array and this one, it will not work. Okay, so we need to develop some certain set of rules, okay, which should not be ambiguous. There has to be some syntax. There is a syntax to add real number. There is a syntax to add multiply, arithmetics, do arithmetics and all those things. Okay, so develop formalism for providing high level descriptions. Why high level description? Which aspect should be represented and which should not be. That means if I am designing and some description knowledge representation for a tic-tac-toe गेम आपने पढ़ा हुआ है, करते हो जब क्लास चलती रहता है तो बहुत सारे बच्चे क्लास के पीछे करते रहते हैं. तो दिस tic-tac-toe is a game, okay, which we want to represent. We want to go for knowledge representation. So in this high-level representation, there are certain things to be represented and certain things are not to be represented. Third, description of the world that can be effectively used to build intelligent application. Intelligent application that are able to infer new knowledge from a given knowledge. And effectively used means reasoning technique should be allowed, usable and implementable. This is what is the goal of knowledge representation. Getting it? Okay, let me move forward now. Now, let me give some examples now. When I say knowledge representation, let me give certain examples, what you can use using searching techniques. Okay, now this is problem searching, state-based search. Let me just put this. Okay, so state space search means while searching for a solution for any problems of artificial intelligence, we go for state based search. Problem is to search for a goal state. There are certain definitions. State means description. That when I say tic-tac-toe, from initial state to the end state. So everywhere you have certain state. Suppose this is my initial state, and from this I get suppose the first person I put a cross here. So this is my next step. Okay, This is my next step. If a cross is here, the circle can be here and circle can be here. So these are two different states. Okay, what is initial state? Initial state is this initial state. What is a goal state? You will find goal state is anybody who is having 3 cross or 3 dots is a goal state. Here circle, here circle, here circle. So this is a goal state. So every time you will have a different goal state. Actions, that what you are supposed to do. I am putting certain dots or cross, that are my different actions. Now look at this 8 puzzle problem. Okay, this problem you must have studied many number of times. Initially you have certain tiles placed in some fashion, and the goal is to arrange those tiles in such a way that they are in some sequence. Now here you can see the tiles are not in sequence, whereas in the goal state the tiles are in the sequence. Sorry. Okay, I'll go to the pointer. Here you can see they are not in a sequence, but these are in a sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, some sequence, and the blank tile is here. So this is the initial state and this is the goal state. Now, this is a problem. How do we represent this? Using state space search. Okay, what are the operators? What is the initial state? What is the goal state? What is the path cost? Suppose I move this 4 this side, my path cost will be 1. But if I move this 4 at this position, my path cost will be 2. Okay. To represent this problem, we use state space search. Knowledge representation is required here. Okay. From this state, we have only 2 options as of now. I can put 8 up and 4 right. Okay. 8 up and 4 right. These are the 2 options I have. But whichever I do, which one of them is good for me? Okay, that you have to find out. And for that, we use heuristic search techniques. Even in Tower of Hanai, the initial states are something, the operators, you know what is to be done, and goal state, you know what is to be done. Rubik cube also. Okay, so for such type of problems, our good old method of representing things does not work. Okay, even in the 8 queen problem, these things are not easy. So for that, we require some good representation. Okay, now let us come to logic. What is this logic? We say we require logical programming language, we require good logic and all those things. So logics are the formal language for representing information such that conclusions can be drawn. These are characterized by their primitive commitments that exist, facts, objects, beliefs. So if you look at propositional logic, there are facts and you can either say that is true, false, or unknown. First order predicate logic, not only facts, but you can represent the objects and also you can represent the relationship between facts and objects and objects. Okay, again you will get true, false, or unknown. Temporal logics are there where you can add times also. Probability theory, you know that all values you get facts and the values as an output you get anything in between 0 to 1. Fuzzy logic, when you do not know that it is true or false, it is the degree of truthness. And again, the interval is not known. Okay, so these are all various logics. We will be looking at predicate logic as of today's session. Now, logic is a tool for reasoning. Okay, they take logical exams many a times. What they want to check in you? They want to check whether you are person to be checked with certain reasoning capabilities or not. Then what is this reasoning? Reasoning is a process of drawing a conclusion from a set of facts and observation. Reasoning is a process of drawing conclusion from a set of facts and observation. If in the class all students are there, all 60 students are there in my class, they listen to my all things, they give all the exam, I can definitely say my students are very studious and they are going to get very good marks. To get this reasoning, to get this conclusion, I have certain facts and I observe my class every day. Okay. And somebody may say, sir, how did you say that all your students will get pass above 60%? What is the logic behind that? So I have a logic behind that. I have a tool for reasoning. Okay. Now logical formula. So these are the things which will be there in the real world, but in the form of computer, you may have to give it in the form of logical formulas. Okay, it's a formal way to describe something in the real world. Okay, truth values. And we use and or not, imply, there exist for all x. These are the operators we use. Okay, kind of programming languages. We have been using BASIC, Fortran. You have used C++, Pascal, Java, and what I said today, many other Python and all those things have come. These are all procedural or object-oriented languages. Whereas declarative languages means we tell computer what problems we want to solve. Whereas in procedural, we have to tell computer how that problem is to be solved. For in C++, even if you want to add two numbers, you'll have to tell him how two numbers are to be added. If you want to calculate the square root, you'll have to tell him how the square root is to be calculated. You want to find out the roots of quadratic equation, you'll have to write a program to find out roots of quadratic equation. Whereas in case of declarative language, no. You will tell the computer what problems we want to solve. And that is why least processing, that is called as Lisp, Prolog, or ML, these are the declarative language. Let us talk about Prolog. In this, mostly all the things are represented in the formula, logical formulas. When I want to represent a statement called as Mary loves Tom, it will be represented at this way. Mary loves Tom. Mary loves Tom. This is how it is to be read at. Okay. These are constant. Every mother loves her children. What is this? This is the fact. Okay. And these facts are to be represented in logical one. Okay, so for this fact, I need to represent for all x and for all y. If x loves y, that implies x is mother of y. I'll read it once again. This is implies. Okay, for all x and for all y, x loves y. This implies x is mother of y. Okay, so this is the way the English statement or real world facts are represented in the form of a Prolog statement, and they are also called as first order predicate logic or FOPL or just predicate logic, okay, which has been derived from predicate calculus. Okay, these are all variables. When I put something in capital letters, you can assume them in assumed to be a variables. Now, finally, when I say that in Prolog, everything is written as a logical formula. Prolog is nothing but programming in logic. Now you understood what is logic, you understood what is reasoning, and you understood what is Prolog also. Okay, it is programming language for symbolic, non-numeric computation. Don't use this programming language for calculating the roots of quadratic equation. बिल्कुल नहीं, ये इसके लिए है नहीं. Well, you can use it for judiciary system, you can use it for medical diagnosis, you can use it for export system, which car to purchase, which mobile to purchase. Yes, for that export system, you can always use this. Well suited for problems which involves objects and relationship between objects. Normally, Prolog is basically good for such type of problems. Hold on. Okay. Using predicate logic, we can make good programming, and it contains three types of statements. In Prolog, it contains three types of statements. One is a fact. I am a boy, currently I am teaching you. It is a fact. Okay. I am a teacher in Trinity Academy of Engineering. It's a fact. There are rules. Rules are nothing but a conditional statement. When X loves Y, that implies X is the mother of Y. This is a rule. Okay, it is a conditional statement. Query. After having facts and after having rules, what you have to do? You have to ask the questions to Prolog. As you ask question to any of the expert system, okay, you have to ask the questions, and this sometimes those questions or goals are to be proved, and that is why we ask various queries. Okay, so here I will call it as queries instead of questions. Remember three things: facts, rules, and queries. Okay, so basic idea of any Prolog program is to describe the situation of interest, ask the question. Prolog logically will deduce a new fact about the situation. We have described him and will give you the deduction as an answer. Okay, let me give you an example here and we'll try to solve this issue. Okay, Prolog language tutorial. I will open this. By the time before I do that, let me open that website where I can show you the program. Just a minute. I can open. Okay, this is the interface. You can see that I have written the predicates. I have written the facts here. Okay, fine. I'll go back to my presentation and I'll explain you first, and then I'll come back to the Prolog. Okay, let us consider some situation. I have some statement with me. This is not C++. Okay, remember, this is something different programming language, so you will not get the problems that way. Anne likes every toy she plays with. Anne is the name of a girl, and she likes every toy if she knows to play, how she knows to play, and she likes it. जो वो खेल नहीं सकती, that she doesn't like. Okay. Then doll is a toy. Everybody, this is a fact. Train is a toy. Again, it is a fact. Anne plays with train. This is also a fact. John likes everything Anne likes. Tell me, this is fact or this is a rule? One of you can tell me whether this is a fact or this is a rule.
Sir, it is a rule.
Great. And what about the first one? Dhruv More, can you tell me? Anne likes every toy she plays with. Doll is a toy, train is a toy. But the first statement, Anne likes every toy she plays with. This is a fact or this is a rule?
It's a fact.
Fact, sir.
Okay, let me go ahead and we'll clear your doubt once again. So having given some facts and having given certain rules, now let me come to certain queries now. Now we will express these things in the prologue. Okay, we will express these things in the prologue and then identify the type of properties and figure out the properties. Okay, so we'll have to find out what are the things here and doll train. There are properties which we will call them as an predicates, and there are certain relationships. Somebody liking somebody else, somebody can place with someone. So these are relationship. So let us construct a knowledge base now and write these properties all. Okay, so I am going one by one. And what is a predicate? When I say I am representing this thing in the form of predicate logic, what is a predicate? Predicate is a template. And once the template is there, you can put anything into that. Okay, so I am creating my first template or first predicate called as toy. I can say T also. I can say TO also. Like what name I give it to my predicate, it is meaningless. But instead of giving I, J, K as a variable name, if I give counter, roll number, sum, average as a name of the variable, it seems more meaningful. Okay, so here I can say doll is a toy, train is a toy. These are two facts I have already represented. Okay, now again, Anne plays with train. So here I have made another template, another predicate. Here I will read it as Anne plays with train. This is how I will need to read it because it is something different. Okay, Anne plays with train. This is how you'll have to read it. I'll change the pointer so that in color I'll make it yellow. Okay, here you can say Anne plays with train. This is how you'll have to read later. John likes everything Anne likes. Here I will have to say for all y. You can use x or y, it doesn't make any sense. You can always use any variable here. So you'll have to say for all y, Anne likes y. If this is true, this statement will be true. Look at this. John likes everything Anne likes. Anne को वो पूरा लाइक होने के बाद ही जॉन को लाइक्स करता है. Okay, so if these statements are true, this becomes true. तो ये implies है. Okay, if this statement is true, this becomes true. So John likes everything Anne likes. Next, last one. Anne likes every toy she plays with. Okay, for all x, that's why I said x or y के पीछे मत पढ़ो. For all x, Anne likes x. This statement is true only when this is true, comma is and this is true. ये दोनों जब true रहेंगे, then only this statement is true. So what is this? Anne likes X only when X is a toy and Anne plays with X. Look at this. Anne likes every toy she plays with. तो पहली चीज तो वो टॉय होना चाहिए और दूसरी चीज उसको वो खेलते आना चाहिए. If these two things are okay, then only Anne is liking that item, liking that statement, toy. Okay, so this is my system. Okay, this is my story, and I have represented this entire story in 5 predicates. The 2 predicates in prologue. जो मैंने यहाँ पे for all y था, x था, वो निकल दिया अभी. For all x and for all y, which was in predicate logic, that I have removed it. Okay. Now I go for asking certain question. Doll is a toy, train is a toy, Anne plays with train. Anne likes every toy she plays with, and John likes everything Anne likes. Okay. Now let us ask this question. Does Anne likes doll? ये मेरा question है. Okay. So before that, let me stop this and remember these questions I am going to ask you. You can note it down. Does Anne likes doll? You will answer with the question. Who likes the train? What does John like? And who plays with the train? ये मेरे 4 questions है, आपको आंसर करना है. And I have given you the things, the statements and their representation. Now I'll go and write the program. I'll stop this. I'll go back here, and I have already copy pasted as it is. Look at this. Doll is a toy. Train is a toy. And can you see this program of mine? और इसको बड़ा करना है. You can see.
Yes, sir. It is okay.
So you can see that I have typed the program as it is, and ये program में variables नहीं, कुछ नहीं है. This is simple. What I can say, program in Prolog. And these are my predicates and these are my rules. Okay. Now, let me ask the first question. Does Anne likes doll? What is your answer? Does Anne likes doll? I'll cut these questions and paste it here, so that it will be easy for you to answer. Logically, let me check your logic, whether you are thinking logic. We have, human being have a good logic. तो आपके पास ठीक से logic है या नहीं है? Let me check it. Okay, I'll cut paste all these questions over here. Tell me the answer. Quickly, let me not take your names. Otherwise, I'll ask questions one by one. Does Anne like? Then I will go for program. Okay. कौन है? There are more than 100 people in this one. You should ask the question. Atharva, can you tell me? Does Anne like?
Yes, sir.
It is
Yes,
true.
Yes.
Yes. So I should get yes here, or I will say true. मैंने आपको वो लॉजिक का बताया था ना, तो either you will get truth value true or yes, something of that sort. So let me go to the program and ask the question. What was the question? I have forgotten. Does Anne likes doll? तो you can see वहां पे question already है, दिख रहा है आपको वहां पे question mark already रखा हुआ है वहां पे. तो मुझे सिर्फ वहां पे क्या करना है? Question पूछना है. Anne likes doll. Anne likes doll. This is what I want to ask, and I want to ask likes. ठीक है, ये मेरा क्वेश्चन है. Already question mark is there. I am just asking Anne likes doll. I'm asking him a question. Okay, so I have to say run. I will run this. No. Atharva, you said yes, she likes Doll. She does not like a doll. Look at this. Doll is a toy. Train is a toy. Anne plays with train. Anne ट्रेन के साथ खेलती है. एन को कब लाइक होता है? आई हैव एक्सप्लेन यू अथर्व, आई हैव एक्सप्लेन यू दैट एन लाइक्स ओनली व्हेन इट इज अ टॉय एंड इट इज शी नोज टू प्ले इट. लेकिन एन को डॉल प्ले नहीं करने आता है. शी नोज टू प्ले ओनली ट्राई. तो दिस इज द रॉन्ग आंसर गिवन बाय दिस वन. So this you get a false answer here. Okay, so this answer is false. Now the next question. Now tell me, how do I represent this? Now representation भी पूछ लेता हूँ मैं. Who likes train? How do I write the question here? Who likes train? कैसे लिखूं बोलो? Who likes train? How do I frame my question? Sanjana madam, can you tell me how do I frame this question? Who likes train? आपके लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में जो प्रेडिकेट्स लिखे हुए उसी को यूज करना है. लाइक्स. यहाँ पे क्या लिखूं? बाद में ट्रेन है यहाँ पे. Are you there? No, you have left. शीतल मैडम, शीतल मेहता जी. See what I have written? No, madam, I don't want to ask the answer. You said Anne is correct, but I am asking how do I write the query? See, this programming language is completely different than C, C++, Java and all those things. So here when I put, okay, Akshay, you said something you need to think about your answer, Akshay. Okay, what I have said here, I have kept X as a variable here. X as capital. Okay, so what he is doing, X likes train. So that means who likes train. Okay, I put a full stop for ending a statement and run the program. And I get the first answer, Anne. Akshay, tell me, you said that. Is there any other answer? Am I going to get any other answer? If I say next. No. Okay. Yes, he has said it correctly. He said that John also likes this. When I go and say next, I'm getting a next answer. And this is what is the beauty of Prolog. This is beauty of आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. अपने प्रोग्राम में कहीं पे जॉन कहीं पे ट्रेन लाइक करता है, कहीं पे नहीं है. बट जॉन, व्हाट इज द रूल? जॉन लाइक्स एवरीथिंग एंड लाइक्स, एंड एन लाइक्स ट्रेन, एंड दैट इज व्हाई जॉन आल्सो लाइक्स इट. This is what is the beauty which you will not get in any other language. Okay, now let me come back again and ask the next question. What does Jan like? Who would answer me? How do I frame this query? How do I frame this query to Prolog? What does John like? कैसे लिखो? Tell me, how do I write that? Quickly. I cannot see everybody's name. That is why I'm a little. बोलिए. संजना मैडम आप दीजिए. Okay, John likes. Kalyani madam, I don't want answer. I want, how do I frame the query? Great. Dhruv, great. John likes, and you wrote small x. Brainy root, I don't know what is your name, but John, comma X. And where is the predicate name? Okay, that is not there. But I think Dhruv is correct. He wrote likes John X. He wrote it this way, likes John X. Why but X? I can write Y also. It can be any character variable in capitals. Okay, likes John Y. I'll go back to program and I will erase this and I will say likes John Y. I'll explicitly put Y there, comma, run. Okay, now you tell me, one of you, don't you feel that an name will come here? If yes, why? If no, why not? Don't you think if I say next year, यहाँ पे Anne का नाम आना चाहिए क्या? Because he likes Anne. Don't you think her name should come here? No. Okay, that doesn't work. ये कहीं पर भी वैसे नहीं है. Logically, it does not work. My last question is, who plays with train? How do I frame the query? Quick, Dhruv, it was the right answer from your side. Who plays with train? How do I frame the query? Quickly tell me. How do I frame the query? Who plays with train? Great. Chidal madam, great. X train, X plays with train, yes. Good. Who plays with train? I'll go back to the program and write it here. Who plays with train? Plays who की जगह पे मैं W लिखता हूँ and here train. अभी बोलो कितने आंसर्स आएंगे? W का आंसर एन आ गया है. Anne and John, very good. Monica madam, I think you are in the line. Kalani madam understood. Very logically they are thinking, and you will get the other answer also. Okay. Now there next. Who plays with train? Why only one answer is getting? And toys plays. Who plays with train? What is the question? Who plays with train? And likes every toy she plays with. Toy is a toy and plays with trains. Aha! John name will not come because John likes everything and likes, but he does not play with train. Okay, so his name will not come. Think logically, it will never come. Okay, but for the first one, that was very true. Okay, so you will find in Prolog, it is very logical programs you have to. Great, Dhruv, you are correct. You are correct for the answer. You say that we never mentioned John plays. It is only liking, very true. That will not come. Okay, so my objective was to give you certain input that how things works in Prolog. Okay, we have logical symbols, we have variables, okay, we have constants, we have predicates, okay, and these are the example about head and the body and all those things. This programming language is something different which is not there in our other things. Okay, so let me stop for this one. Let me go to my earlier presentation. Okay, let me stop the presentation and ask you if you have any queries. See, I haven't told you everything about knowledge representation. Only one method I have told you, that is predicate logic. Then you have many other things. propositional logic, semantic network, conceptual dependency, neural network, scripts, frames. These all are ways to represent knowledge. Okay, data, database, structure, classes, UML diagrams. We are not representing any knowledge there. It is something different. Scenarios, software engineering, that is different thing. But here we want to represent knowledge. I have been telling you what is knowledge, what is representation, and all those things. Okay, so let us, if you have any queries, you can shoot it right now. Otherwise, I will move to the next small presentation. That will be my last presentation. Or if you have any queries, you can always type in the chat box. At the end, I will take up your questions. Now, I told you that we are going to solve such problems which are not solvable using normal programming language. It requires state-based search or something of that sort. Okay, so let me go take you to the different world now. Heuristic search techniques. You can see my presentation on the screen, all of you. One of you answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fair
Yes, sir.
So heuristic search techniques. Remember, we have studied depth first search, breadth first search, best first search, and so much and so forth. But there we never use intelligence. And intelligence comes with some experience. And heuristics is nothing but a thumb rule which comes with an experience. Okay? So we will see one problem called as constraint satisfaction problem. We know what is the constraint. I have a constraint of taking lecture not more than 50 minutes. You have a constraint of your mobile data as of now. We have a constraint of taking 5 lectures per day. So constraint is simply a logical relation among several unknown variables. Each taking a value in its given domain. Okay, a timetable in charge has a constraint that a teacher should not have 2 different subjects on the same day. It is a clash. Okay, a constraint that restricts the possible values that variable can take. If a variable DSP subject is there and one teacher is teaching that XYZ, so constraint is that that teacher should teach, nobody else should come. So it is a restriction to a possible value that a variable can take. It represents some partial information about a variable of interest. And this constraint arises naturally in most of our human endeavors. Okay, when I say 3 angles of the triangle sums up to 180 degrees, so it's a constraint and it is there everywhere. Okay, now, what is this constraint satisfaction problem? Like traveling salesman problem, constraint satisfaction problem is also used extensively in our computer and IT domain, even in electronics. It is a set of variables, finite. It's a function which maps every variable to a finite domain, and it is a finite set of constraints. Don't worry if you don't understand this. I'll come back and show you this slide once again. There are certain set of variables, and there is a function which map every variable with that finite domain, and there are finite set of constraints. Think about timetable. There are 5 subjects, 5 teachers, 2 practical teachers, 7 hours, 1 hour per lecture. So it is a set of variables, function mapping, and finite set of constraints are there. Now what is our objective is each constraint restrict a combination of values that a set of variables may take it simultaneously. A solution of constraint satisfaction problem is an assignment to each variable a value from its domain satisfying all the constraints. Okay, if you look at today's news, two planes were about to hit each other at the height of 16,000 feet. Why? Because the traffic controller, air traffic controller, is supposed to give them a constraint that you will fly here and you will fly here. That constraint was mismatched. Okay, and that is why anyhow that accident did not take place, but otherwise you will find both the none of the person would have been alive today. You see the Times of India, you will find it is there, the news. So constraint satisfaction problem is very important in such type of scenarios. Okay, they use heuristics normally for graph labeling, robot path planning, and crypto-arithmetic puzzles or problems. I will show you the crypto-arithmetic problem today. Now here, each letter has been assigned a unique numeric value. Normally आप क्रॉसवर्ड अगर करते होंगे ना, तो ये प्रॉब्लम आपको बहुत इजी हो जाएगा. क्रॉसवर्ड अगर टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया या फिर इंडियन एक्सप्रेस या इवन मराठी लैंग्वेज जो आप करते हो, it is nothing but a crypto arithmetic problem. Here each letter has assigned a unique numerical value and that cannot be given. We used to write letters to our parents 25 years back, and we used to write letters, send 500 rupees for books and hostel admission and college fees. And 500 rupees were enough in 1991-92. We used to pay the college fees, hostel fees, food and all those things. But look at this, send plus more is equal to money. What is the initial state? No two letters have the same value. And the sum of the digit must be shown in the problem. Goal state, all the letters are assigned a digit in such a way that all the initial constraints are satisfied. क्या करना है? You have to assign 0 to 9 numbers. You have to assign 0, 1 to 9 numbers to these letters in such a way that this, if D के लिए आपने 2 बोल दिया, तो ये D2 you will not represent it to someone else. अगर E को आपने 3 बोल दिया, तो everywhere 3 will come. Even this E will be 3, even this E will be 3. Okay, so this is what is the problem. All letters have assigned a digit in such a way that all the initial constraints are satisfied. Okay, S plus M will not be somewhere 99. हो ही नहीं पाएगा, because there are 2 digits. By adding 2 singular digits, you will never get 99. Getting it? So that is what is a constraint satisfaction problem. Let us move ahead. Now, how this is to be solved? You cannot write a simple any program for this. Depth first search, ये वगैरह ये नहीं चलते यहाँ पे. You will have to go for constraint satisfaction problem itself. इसको आपको बाकी नहीं चलेगा यहाँ पे. So we are aware. Let me solve this problem in front of you. We are aware that if I add 2 digits, 2 single digit, S and M is 1 digit, okay, single digit number. If I add these 2 numbers, it's going to get a carry. This is my constraint. Take any 2 largest single digit number, 7 and 8 or 8 and 9. Suppose I say S के लिए 8 and M के लिए 9. So S plus M will not give you anything more than 2 unless you have a carry from this. Okay, so S and M जो भी वैल्यू आती होंगी, M की वैल्यू 1 ही होगा, 2 नहीं होगा. Okay, so suppose S is 8 and M is 9. So you will find 17 will come. So O will be 17, something of this sort. Okay. Now, once this is confirmed, when I say that M is confirmed 1, I will have M as 1 here. Okay. Now, when I say confirmed M1, so now find out what is the value of S. Tell me what all possibilities of S could be. S की क्या क्या possibilities हो सकती है? Tell me, can it be 2? Great. Govind Rathi sir said it is 9. Monica madam says 9. It cannot be 2. Constraint, because 2 plus 1 is going to give me 3. It cannot be 3 also, because 3 plus 1 is going to be 4. It is something, could be either 9 or it could be 8. Okay, it cannot be less than 8 and 9. So S value either has to be 8 or it has to be 9. You can do away with 8. Okay, at later stage. You can do away with 8 at later stage. Now, I'll go with this, assuming an S is 9. If S is 9, 9 plus 1 is equal to 0, 10, and O value is what I can say 0. If O is 0 there, O will be 0 here also. Agree? Okay, fine. Now, if O is 0, what would be the value of E? What could be the value of E? E plus 0 is equal to N. ऐसे कैसे होगा? E plus 0 is equal to N नहीं होगा. That means what does this signifies? That signifies that there is a carry from this side. Otherwise E is equal to N हो जाएगा, जो कि नहीं है. Constant आ गया यहाँ पे, है ना? तो you will have to say N is equal to E, which is not true. So therefore it depends upon the earlier value, क्योंकि इधर से carry आने वाला है. Okay, so in this way you have to carry on. You have to carry on. Finally, this is the output. ये आपका output है. You will have actually only one and one answer to this crypto arithmetic problem. Okay, you try adding it this now. You will get this value. Okay, for this type of thing, you require what I say, artificial intelligence techniques. Okay, so there are many. This one, can you tell me what is the value of A in this case? A plus A is equal to A. What does this mean? What does this mean? Quickly, A plus A is equal to A. What should be the value of A? Vinayak sir, 0, great. B plus A is equal to A. What should be the value of B? You need to, this comes with an experience. This comes with some heuristics. Okay, many times you have to use generate and test. ये करके देखो, वो अपन आप क्रिप्टो जो अपन पजल सॉल्व करते हैं तो जनरेट एंड टेस्ट ही करते हैं. We try this word, we try that word, and finally we get some output. Take this as an homework. Tech plus that is equal to sheet. You can try finding out the answer for this. Okay, eat plus that is equal to apple. You can try finding out the things answer for this. Cross plus road is equal to danger. This question is asked many times in the examination for BTech and BE computer students for 8 and 10 marks. Okay, so cross plus road is equal to danger. You can try finding out the answer for this. You have an algorithm for this. ऐसा नहीं है कि I have just whatever I have told you, it works that way. There is an algorithm for this. Okay, but I don't want to go into a lot of technical details as of now. I want to just motivate you to go for studying artificial intelligence, to do research in this. This is the way it is to be solved. And these are certain real life examples of constant satisfaction problem. Transportation, frequency allocation, gate management. I told you about today's accident, which was actually allocation of the height at which the plane should run entire for its entire duration. If it is Pune to Delhi, it is given some longitude and longitude. On that itself, at that height, he has to run that entire journey. Gate management, car sequencing, car designing, configuration, timetabling, real-time resource allocation, and this one unfolding. Okay, so I think I have finished my presentation as well as my talk. I think I am much ahead of my time. I have finished it early. Monica madam, if you have something to ask, something to share, you can definitely let people ask me. Otherwise, I have finished my topic for delivery. I was expecting many questions and all those things, and that is why 10-15 minutes prior to that I could finish it. You can switch on your cameras, let me see your faces, and share the photograph with me. And Monica madam, you can conclude my sessions today. If they have certain question, if you want my presentation, I will share with Monica madam, and you can learn from it.
Yes, dear participants, please ask question if anyone have any doubt. You can also mention the question in the chat box.
Okay, fine. Have you asked them, have you taken the photograph and all those things for your own purpose or record?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Otherwise, ask them to switch on their cameras and take a photograph so that I
No,
can
sir. I take the snap. Just I request you to share your yesterday's presentation and today's presentation.
That I will definitely do. I will just
Yes, sir. Okay.
modify that, and I'll forward you the PDF copies of all the presentation of today's session and yesterday's
Yes, sir.
session also.
Okay. Over to Shraddha, ma'am.
Thank you, Monica ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Professor Shraddha Shesar, and I'm here to present the vote of thanks for today's session. I would like to thank our speaker, Dr. Nilesh Ukesar, for enlightening us with their knowledge. Today's session was full of knowledge and interesting things. I'm pretty sure that the precise knowledge that Dr. Ukesar given us will definitely help us in your studies and future also. Once again, I would like to thank Dr. Ukesar for giving their valuable time from their busy schedule and enlightening us with their knowledge. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, my pleasure. You can contact me at any time. You have my email ID. If you want to learn many things about this, you want to get the projects on these, you want to pursue your PhD on this domain, you can contact me. Again, I would like to share my email ID and this one. I'll share my email ID once again. You can note down that. Okay. And those who want the number, that is also shared. So thank you for giving me opportunity, Monica madam, and all your team, your management and college authorities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Okay, feedback link will be shared on chat box. Please check the link and share the feedback and attendance also. Session recordings and PPT will be shared on WhatsApp groups. Please check for this. Thank you so much, everyone. We will end up for today. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.